Leah Hoopes.
Thank you, everyone. Frank, you're the best. So it's pretty amazing to be here. I'm always honored. Thank you, Lourdes, Richard, the Moon family, Rod of Iron. Thank you to my parents who are in the audience for bringing me up in a conservative home. Thank you, Patriots, for bearing this weather right now. And thank you to the news media that is here, who is here to report the facts. So I was a poll watcher in 2020. I got involved because I watched Donald Trump come down the escalator, and I knew he was going to help save our republic. I became a committee woman, and I watched from the kind of on the outside of how politics go, just in my little hometown. And that's really where I got started, and I became an alternate elector for President Trump in 2020, and I took Lawrence Tabus's spot. By the way, Lawrence Tabus, who runs the Pennsylvania GOP, he was a coward who did not show up that day, and I took his spot proudly. I worked on the Trump campaign in 2020, and let me tell you something, it's been pure hell since we have filed a petition to redress our government. There's a few things that I took from some of these speeches. I was listening to Mr. Sebastian Gorka, who's fantastic, and I'm very honored to share this stage with so many wonderful people. But I was listening to him talk about how everything is local. And what I'm witnessing now in the United States of America is the distraction. You guys are you're constantly distracted by the national politics. And not to say that that's not important, and not to say that I don't love President Trump, but where your focus needs to be is on the local level. That's where your power is. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute and how it has affected me personally and what we've been going through. George Soros was a very big part of taking over our local elections. And let me start from the beginning. So in the early 2020, when we were shut down, which I'm sure you all know that was the pandemic, we noticed that Soros was infiltrated, Mark Zuckerberg had infiltrated, and there were these contractors that were coming into my county that were getting paid an exuberant amount of money to run our elections. And what they did was they set up 46% of our state's drop boxes in my county. Our district attorney, Frederick Jack Stolzheimer, was given $1 million by George Soros in 2019 so he can be installed right before the 2020 election. That man is a criminal. I'm just going to put it right out there. He is a criminal, just like Fannie Willis, just like every other district attorney across this country. They are criminals, period. He was installed in 2019. Why? Does anyone know why the district attorney is important for local elections? They are the first line of defense in election fraud, period. So he was set up in 2019. The next person that comes in, James Savage. If you guys have watched the whistleblower videos and the audio and all of that, James Savage. Let me talk about Mr. James Savage, where he was prior to becoming the Delaware County voting machine warehouse supervisor. Mr. James Savage was the United Steelworker Union president in Philadelphia. He was a Bernie Sanders delegate. He brought in the Obama administration with disgraced Bob Brady representative to bring in the Carlyle Group. You ever heard of that name? The Carlyle Group, okay, that bought Sunoco Refinery. I'll give you a little backstory here on how all of this is connected. The Carlyle Group buys Sunoco in 2012, okay? In 6 years, they go bankrupt. In 2018, guess who buys the Philadelphia refinery? Deutsche Bank in 2018. Deutsche Bank, I'm sure you've heard of Deutsche Bank, right? Hunter Biden? Anyone heard of Deutsche Bank? Okay. Deutsche Bank comes in and they buy up this refinery. In less than a year, the Sunoco refinery, okay, blows up. Boom. And if you've been paying attention, since the Obama administration, that man has been destroying the oil the oil companies and drilling and the refineries. So we're in the third term of Obama at this point. So it blows up. Guess who's working inside the refinery when it blows up? James Savage. Jim Savage. He goes to Costa Rica to retire. He writes a blog. This man's living the dream, buys a property with disgraced criminal representative, House Representative Margot Davidson. I have a picture of them with a deed. Follow me here, okay? They buy a property in Costa Rica. Who got money from Obama to build real estate and solar panels in Costa Rica for $54 million? Anyone? Frank Biden, okay? So Jim Savage comes out of retirement and takes a $65,000 job as none other than the Delaware County voting machine warehouse supervisor. Pretty amazing, huh? I'd leave Costa Rica to take a $60,000 job, wouldn't you? Sure. Here's the best part. Jim Savage ran District Attorney Jack Stolzheimer's campaign in 2019. Coincidence, anyone? No. This is what we were investigating, okay? And most recently, I just spoke to Garrett Ziegler. Do you know who that is? Another person who's being persecuted. He wrote the Marco Polo report. I've read those emails. Do you know what I connected this past week? Hunter Biden's emails to Delaware County, Pennsylvania. And that report will be out within the next 6 months. This is what I'm dealing with. I am just a patriot. You are more than capable of taking yourselves and inserting yourselves into your local politics and paying attention. It's your duty. It's your job. Not a politician, not some investigator. You. I've done it. Many people are doing it across this country. This is what you need to do. Let me tell you something else. No one's coming to save you. Not President Trump, not Doug Mastriano, not any politician. I'm tired of saying this. It is up to us to do this. I don't want to hear excuses anymore. Sebastian Gorka talked about it. I don't want to hear it. You are responsible right now for saving this republic. President Trump is not our savior. The Lord is. That's the only savior that we have. He is not a savior. He is the greatest whistleblower that has ever come into this country. He was on the inside for 30 years. A whistleblower. He is a shield to us, but he is not our savior. Let me go back to the local politics. Right now, okay, I am a plaintiff in 4 lawsuits since 2020. We have been investigating continuously for 3.5 years. I represent myself, Greg Stensham represents himself in court, and guess what? We're kicking their ass. The biggest issue right now in this country, okay, besides the corrupt court system, the judges and the attorneys, okay, is that we're being told that we're not smart enough, we can't do these things. I have stood up against Ballard Spahr, Dwayne Morris. I've stood up against people that have represented the Biden administration, and we are kicking their ass in court. You are more than capable. I'm not here to give you hopium. I'm here to light a fire under your asses. Now, let me talk to you about something. Because we have filed 4 lawsuits, which obviously we found fraud, we set up a sting operation inside Delaware County. I found a whistleblower, okay, mic'd her up, videoed her up through Project Veritas, and we caught them red-handed. Video, audio, I have thousands of hours. Let me tell you what Jack Stolzheimer did for his buddy Jim Savage, okay, with the investigation of our audio and video and our lawsuits. We filed a lawsuit in 2020. Okay, we're now in appeals right now, sitting in the Commonwealth Court with that case. For a whole 1.5 years, after we sent a certified letter to U.S. Attorney McSwain, Attorney General Shapiro at the time, boo, and District Attorney Jack Stolzheimer. They did nothing. Do you know what they did instead? They sent special agents to my front door to investigate me. I slammed the door in their face and told them to basically kiss my ass. That's how that went. So what ends up happening? October 2021, Jim Savage files a defamation case against me, Greg, Mayor Giuliani, President Trump in Philadelphia for defamation. It's pretty amazing. Apparently, I caused his 2 heart attacks and stopped him from making money, even though he's working with the United Steelworkers Union as a lobbyist. I caused his heart attack, even though the man's a drunk. But, okay. He files a defamation case October 2021. November 2021, we release the audio and video from the whistleblower, caught red-handed. Now all the pressure's coming onto the district attorney, Jim Savage's friend. So Jack Stolzheimer, the district attorney, turns around, takes him 6 months. He does a criminal investigation, an internal investigation into his own people. Do you think he talked to me? Nope. Did he talk to the whistleblower? Nope. Did he talk to Greg? No. So apparently you can close a criminal investigation without talking to the witnesses or even doing a forensic investigation into our videos. This is happening in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. He goes to the news media and said the investigation is closed and that we fabricated the evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at a felon right now because that's a felony if you fabricate evidence. They are covering up for their friends. They are covering up in the courts. And what they're doing is using lawfare in order to shut us up. Do you think I'm going to shut up anytime soon? No. Hell no. So, let's fast forward. We now have another defamation case, Jim Allen. Jim Allen is our elections director in Delaware County. Where did we get Jim Allen from? Well, we got Jim Allen from Chicago. Oh, isn't that special? So he comes in, he covers up the election in 2021, okay? Now, in 2016, there is a woman by the name of Dr. Laura Chamberlain. Are you guys following me right now with all this craziness? 2016, this woman is calling out Cook County, Chicago, in which Jim Allen works in 2016. She's a Democrat. I found this on YouTube. She's talking about Jim Allen and the cover-up, how they stole the election from Bernie Sanders. Jim Allen leaves, steals it from Bernie Sanders, and then comes to Delaware County, Pennsylvania. So now Jim Allen and Jim Savage are suing us for defamation. Last case I'll talk about. Just the other day, I got served another case. I'm a defendant again. This time, Manley Parks, J. Manley Parks, you gotta take a look at this guy, look him up, he looks like a schmuck. J. Manley Parks, who works for Duane Morris, one of the largest law firms in the country, is the solicitor in Delaware County for the Board of Elections. Okay, this man is not only a defendant, but also helped to cover up the 2020 election. He's now suing us for malicious prosecution. Apparently, I went to law school and became a prosecutor. Okay, this is what we're dealing with. The lawfare that's going on in Fulton County, Georgia, the lawfare that's going out on in California with John Eastman, it's all connected. I'm gonna make a connection for you, and I'm gonna summarize this in just a second. Duane Morris, I've talked about this. In this malicious prosecution case right now, okay, J. Manley Park says we are enriching ourselves by the book. I don't know if you've ever written a book, but we've lost money from all the stuff that we've been doing. Enriching ourselves is fantastic because I found out that Mr. Manley Parks makes $1,000 an hour. But we get them for the price of $450 in Delaware County. And the revenue for Duane Morris in 2022 was $630 million. So who's making the most money? Is it me or is it J. Manley Parks? J. Manley Parks. So I have Duane Morris after us, okay? We have Ballard Spar after us. They want to go after our firearms. They want to go after money, sanctions. 6 times they've tried to sanction us for over $50,000 every single time. We've beat them in court every single time. On June 10th, Frank, how am I doing on time? Good? I'm good. We have the defamation case as a co-defendant with President Trump. Let's go back to Philadelphia County. Jim Savage's lawyer, his name is Connor Corcoran. You should look him up. He's another schmuck. Left-winger. This man's insane. So 705 days, excuse me, we have been going through this in Philadelphia County. He hasn't brought forth a single material fact to prove his case. Nothing. 0. Okay? Do you know what we did? We submitted our book as evidence. We have evidence coming out of our ears. It's sitting on a court docket in Philadelphia. Do you know what that means? President Trump, Mayor Giuliani, and anybody else, a J6er, can all use our evidence as exculpatory evidence. Period. This man, on June 10th, because he's losing, takes us in for a hearing and demands the judge in a civil court to confiscate my firearms because I'm a domestic terrorist, because I threatened him, to sanction me for $15,000 and to muzzle me. Greg and I went in, gave more evidence on the record, okay, and won. We won that hearing. The trajectory of our cases, I don't worry about that. That's with God. The reason why we did what we did, we wrote a strategy 3.5 years ago and we've stuck to it ever since. You can't just say that the courts are corrupt, you have to prove it. You have to prove it. You need to be in a court of law, period.
Drink. She is giving it hell.
Thanks, Frank, you're the best. Love that guy. I love the fact that we're matching. Thank you guys for listening. I could talk for an hour and a half, but anyway, what I'm telling you right now is that Greg and I have them on the ropes, okay? And what they can't do to us is they can't shut us up, because I'm not some attorney that's gonna turn around and be like, oh, okay, like just make sure you get me next time. And I'm not a judge, and I'm not involved in their cabal inside the court system. There's nothing they can do, and it's killing them. It is literally killing them. And the best thing that we've done is that we've used their own rules against them. And if you haven't read Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals, you need to understand your enemy and you use it against them every single day. Do not bend the knee to tyrants. You stand in the face and you tell them that you will never, ever surrender. You use their rules against them. Who cares if you get canceled? I think it's an honor that I am canceled. I'm on the insurrection index. I'm a domestic terrorist. And all this other crap that I'm a racist. I'm all these things. I don't care. I do not care. It means nothing to me. I'm telling you to have this same courage every single day. I don't see enough young faces in this crowd. You should be talking to your kids, your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews. Kids at schools you should be talking to. Sign up as poll watchers, getting involved in local elections, or donate to people like me, because we need your help. We are not going anywhere. We are not going anywhere ever. I will die before I ever live in a communist country. Period. Period. I am not afraid. I have faith in God, and I have faith in you, because we the people are going to save this republic. I encourage you to keep coming back here every year. I encourage you to please support all of the people in the grassroots and stop listening to these politicians, because they're all in on it, and I have the proof. Stay the course. I love you all very much. Thank you very much. God bless America.
Oh God, this will be great for the left wing.
Oh yeah.
That's what I love love about Sean Moon. He trolls all the media.